to let you know. What time is it? Gosh, it's late. It's 9 o'clock. The week's just been crazy this week. So just to let you know, for those who like taking part live, it's the tarot readings for the month ahead. The 3 bonus readings, which I do via Facebook Live, are coming up very soon. So have a look. It doesn't always show up on your notifications, but check it out. And Tarot Tuesday is definitely one of the, if the not the favorite day of the week. So the way that it works with Tarot Tuesday, just to give you a bit of a heads up, is we do the readings. I've got a ton of decks. You can see some of them on the shelf behind me. And I choose the cards face down, so they're looking away from me. And I do readings for anyone in the membership group who'd like a reading. One of the things that always happens is people often are not there live, so they'll go in and catch the replay, sometimes a couple of days or even a couple of weeks later. So they also then have the gift of hindsight. And just to give you a little taster of what the feedback is, this is one from the lovely Winnie. Some of you might know her and those amazing vibrational bath salts that she creates. So Winnie said, Marilyn, bang on with the card. That is a very common reaction. And when people say that, I'm like, oh, good, great. What did I say? Because I have no idea. I'll do the readings, I'll say what I'm going to say, and then pretty much boom, it's gone. And people often come back, oh my God, the reading you did was so spot on, thank you so much. And I'm like, okay, I need to know what I said. And actually I did actually go back at one point because I'd heard it so many times. That was accurate, so spot on, that was amazing, fantastic. And they were relaying what happened. I'm like, I really need to know what I said, and I'll share with you the results of that in a few minutes in terms of what happened. This is another one of our Tarot Tuesday members. So they said, hi, Marilyn, thanks for the reading. Totally spot on. I've been thinking of starting a course in a new area, which has nothing to do with what I currently am doing, but something I have dabbled in with the past. And I want to do stroke no more. I have been trying to decide if I should do it, and I guess the reading confirms I should go for it. So that was fantastic, because clearly I'd said something about doing something outside of their area, studying, etc. So that's always really cool. I think I've got another one here as well. So another of the members says, thank you ×3, Miss Magic. Boom. The card nailed it and felt the inclination with Kay's cards and action stroke stillness, grounding the senses and perspective. So clearly I had given Kay some suggestions. Openness and clearing of the mind and seeing things differently and creative ideas unfolding. Thank you. So that's marvelous. And there's one here that did make me laugh when I pulled it up earlier today, because this is often what happens as well. So somebody else said, oh my God, this is so spot on. Good job, I'm lying down. And they said, hi, Marilyn, I've just listened to the recording and OMG, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. What can I say? But you were 1,000,000% spot on with my reading, and I'm blown away with it all, which is really fantastic. And that happens all the time. And the readings are very different. I remember when I first started doing them, I think it was back in 2016, I'd done a reading that day. And for one person, I found myself talking about getting a second opinion in terms of their health and buying organic vegetables. They were not on live. They then watched the recording and says, Marilyn, I've had this illness. I've just been to get a second opinion. And on the way home, I just suddenly felt compelled to go and buy some organic veg. It's that crazy specific sometimes. So it's not that everybody will be thinking, I'm ill, I need a second opinion and I need to get some organic vegetables. So we've had some really cool ones. I remember we had someone, I was saying, I don't think you're this kind of person, but I really feel that it would be a really good idea for you to take a nap. They come on to the live partway through and they apologize for being late. And they said, oh, I've just been having a nap. And I thought they said that because they'd seen my reading. They hadn't actually seen the reading, because of course, if you're on a Facebook Live, you can't rewind until it's over. So yeah, really, really specific stuff. Hey, Annika, today, question mark. Tarot Tuesday, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. Yes, exclamation mark. Yeah, so I was thinking if it's not too late of doing it today. and just seeing how we go. As we know, sometimes the calls are epic. Actually, I'm doing there's a few less people on the list because I know a lot of people are not online at the moment, so I might be able to, you know, get it into an hour or thereabouts rather than the epic ones when we're doing 15 or 20 readings. So yeah, I was thinking about doing it today. So let me know if that suits. David Birch says supersize me. Cool. Oh yeah, the Hoonah supersize subscription service. That's what I was kind of saying, if people want to Hoonah supersize with that. But yeah, all good fun. And one of the things that I did, because I heard this so much, bang on, spot on, so accurate, oh my God, and people relaying what I'd said and basically what had happened, almost like word for word. So what I actually did about a year ago is I went back and I sat and I looked at what people have written in the membership group, did a cut and paste with their permission, and then I sat and I listened to watch the videos again, and I was just sat and I was transcribing, and I actually put them all together in a blog, so you can see what I said in the reading, you can see what people then said when they came and watched the recording, and I've also put the cards in there as well. So what let me see if I can find it fast. Actually, I'll do it afterwards. What I'll do afterwards is I'll get the link to the blog and I'll put it in there if you want to go and read it for yourself, because I was like, this is too uncanny for words. I've got to now go back and hear what I said and then compare that to people's experiences. So that was really, really cool. So yeah, I was thinking of doing that today, tonight, for those of us in the United Kingdom. And we might, I know we've got a favorite deck of several of the people who are there, but we've had some really eclectic stuff like the Banksy deck. That was a little bit mind-blowing. I don't know if some of you are actually on that live. Got these cards, a lovely gift from Kay, who does the Angeli jewelry, really fantastic angel jewelry. If you haven't checked it out, do so. And I came on to Facebook like I am now, and I said, I got this new deck, does anyone want to have a play? And a lovely lady out in the United States, I don't know her, we've never met, we've only, you know, been Facebook friends, you know, liking each other's posts and comments, but I don't know anything about her. Her name is Frantonia Pollins. So she writes in the comments, yes, I would like to do it. So I then say, cool. So I'm picking the cards, and as you can see from what's on the screen, they're not like tarot cards. They are pretty much, they're representations of the artwork that Banksy has done over the years. So I start doing this reading, and I hear this voice, and the woman who is talking as I'm doing the reading, she's very specific, and she kept, as I was looking at the cards and going, okay, what does that mean? What do I say? How do I do that? She then kept saying, she was saying what she was thinking, and then she kept sort of saying baby. And I'm like, I can't call Frantonia like baby. I don't know this woman. We've just been liking a few posts here and there. And in the end, because it was so persistent, I then just started saying it as I was hearing it. Frantonia then says, oh my God. She said, that's Granny Gracie. I was like, who's Granny Gracie? Because I'd said to Frantonia, look, there appears to be a woman here who is patriarchal like a grandmother, and she has said, and then I basically said word for word what this woman had said. And Frantonia then says, oh my God, that's Granny Gracie, and that's what she used to call me. And it was so specific. Now it's on Facebook Live. And I think I also uploaded it to YouTube. So again, probably in a couple of days' time, I'll find the link to that live as well if you want to watch it. I mean, I've got goosebumps now as I talk about it, but it was wild because I was not expecting a mediumship session while I'm just having to play with the cards. Because the reason I wanted to have, if I've got a new deck, I will always have a play before I use them for Tarot Tuesday for the membership group, because I just want to see how they vibe. I want to see what people get from them. And with the Banksy cards, what am I going to, I don't know if the word is challenging, but I was like, whoa, this is going to be different too. And let me see if I've got them handy. I might show you. Have I? Oh yeah, they're right at the top, So compared to the regular deck, so let's just show you, this is just what the one on the top of the deck. This was just at the top. So just to give you a sense. So this one says neglect. Move it there. And as you can see, actually, that's actually not too that's not too far off actually what's going on with the world at the moment. So it's the 9 of flowers, and it's the devastation. So you've got the shopping trolleys here. So I'm going to show it to you now. Look again more closely. You've got the shopping trolleys abandoned. You've got the travel, the cone, and it's almost as like we're neglecting the earth. The whole thing, I guess, what he's talking about here will also be in aspects of consumerism. The aspect of the way that we kind of treat the environment, and that's actually been a really big conversation at the moment with regards to the coronavirus, the lockdown. I've seen some really incredible pictures in terms of how the visibility has returned to some areas, and now we're not all out there smogging it up, which actually makes sense. You know, the whole thing about, you know, the economy versus our health, and there have been so many conversations about this. So even though I've just picked that one, well, I always pick them at random, but you know, that's the sort of thing. But compare that, let's say, with the traditional card, and that's why I was thinking it's going to be a little bit of a challenge maybe to read with the Banksy cards. But what happened with Frantonia just blew my mind. And then Granny Gracie, like, she's off on one. And every single card, I'm saying it, I'm going, does this make any sense? Frantonia is straight back onto the thread. Oh my God, I've just been doing this, just been doing that. And it was crazy. And then Granny Gracie starts going on at me about a few things as well. So it was quite something, but it's something that happens all the time in terms of the cards being spot on. But that mediumship piece was a bit like, whoa, hold it right there. That's not what I expected to happen. So yeah, it's always cool. So if you're up for it, then get yourselves ready. Annika says, fine by me, bring it on. Let me get some tea and I'll be ready. Do you know what, Annika? I'm going to get some tea as well. I'm going to put it in your magic mug. Hey, Ace, how are you? So yeah, I'm going to get some tea myself, put it in the old magic mug. And yeah, while we're here, about the supersize me thing, because that's one of the ways I've been, I don't know if I've got it in here actually. Oh, I have. What I have created, because Hoonah, again, Tarot Tuesday, favorite day of the month. We don't have a Hoonah day. I'm guessing if we did have a Hoonah day in the membership group, that would be the favorite day too. But with my clients, Hoonah is one of the absolutely most favorite things. In terms of a modality, I often combine that with access consciousness and some of the other things I do. It blows people's minds every single time. So what I've done is I've put together, I guess you could call it a podcast series, but it's an audio series. So what I'm doing now is uploading the Hoonah audio recordings that I've done over the years and putting them into one place. Now, on the Soundcast site, I put some free recordings up if you want to listen, get a taster, get an experience of it. And then you can either subscribe on a monthly basis. And while we're in the pre-launch, that's £7 a month. You can also do it on an annual basis, or you can just kind of buy access outright. So that's all available at the moment. What I will do, if you're watching this as a recording, it'll probably be up there now. But what I will do is I'll probably tomorrow, I'll go to my main website, which is transformationstm.com, and I'll show you the spelling of that in a moment. And if you click on, there's going to be a red button at the top that says what's new. Click on that, a slider comes out, and then what I'll do is I'll put a link to the Soundcast recordings, the MP3 recordings on the website, because it's a really long link. mysoundwise.com/Soundcast 1587243655415 S for Sierra. That's long. So what I'll do is I'll add a link to my website, and you can just click on that and you can access them. What we've got so far in terms of contents, we have got it's a lot of it is around clearing old judgments, limitations, etc. So we've got the guided Hoonah prosperity ritual, plus the PDF to support that. That's running time of 40 minutes. We've got the guided chakra energy clearing session. That is 60 minutes. We've got the introduction to Ho'oponopono. Ooh, that's a whopping 2 hours and 50 minutes, basically 3 hours. That's quite some introduction, clearly. We've got the moon meditation energy clean, which might be actually perfect for tonight. 1 hour and 30-minute running time. We've got the Hoonah intro teleseminar, so giving you an introduction. What is Hoonah? What is it all about? That is 1 hour 35 minutes. We've got the Hoonah and access consciousness belief change. That's also an hour and a half, so just over 90 minutes. We've got the raising your money vibration. This was a good one. Clearing ancestral and genealogical patterns, and that is 57 minutes. And then we've got the energy regeneration guided meditation, and that one I believe is 40 minutes. So that's what's there so far. I'm going to continue to upload some of this stuff that I've already got, plus what I'm going to do is do some new recordings. So for those of you who have already subscribed, if you happen to be watching this, and I will email you next week, but if you happen to be watching, can you let me know what would be most useful for you at the moment? Because I'm going to record something new, and I'll make it a bit bespoke as well in terms of what's going to be most useful. And also if there's anything particularly you want me to put into the mix, because some of you who have experienced the Hoonah stuff will know that it does work in the most mysterious of ways, and can, oh, actually, here we go, while we're talking about it. So some of the ways that it has worked. So this is, as some of you might know, the wonderful Lak Loy, who is the JKD instructor, has a martial arts school, and he's also the white collar warrior, works in the city, plus does all the martial arts stuff. And a friend had recommended that he do a telephone session with me doing Hoonah. And he had been out of contract for 9 months at that point, which is a long time, you know, eating into your savings, etc. So we did some Hoonah over the phone. That week he got a new contract after 9 months of absolutely nothing. So I get the phone call, the message, and you're not going to believe this. Clients say that all the time. And he says, you're not going to believe this. I knew there was a block and now it's gone. You have an amazing ability and it is having miraculous effects. And a few years later, I was at a dinner. A friend of mine, Suki Wahiwala, was hosting a dinner, and Lakiz, I said, hey, how you guys? Oh, so busy with work. And I just had to laugh to myself, because when we first met, there was no work. And then since that time, it's been really busy. And some of you, there was someone in the membership group, some of you in the membership group will know who this is. And she'd been out of contract for 9 months as well. So did the same. We did a Skype Hoonah session. And I then get a message a couple of days later saying, Marilyn, I've got a problem. I'm like, oh, what's happened? And then she kind of types in, she says, I've just been offered not 1, but 2 jobs. The problem is I don't know what to choose. So it's really cool when that sort of stuff happens. So it does work in mysterious ways. And people often say, does the energy travel if you can't make it live, or if you're listening to an archive recording, as you will be in the Soundcast subscription? And this is from one of my clients out in Australia. Now, those of you who are on my e-newsletter list, you'll know that when I'm testing out new processes, new products, I will go to my e-newsletter list and I'll ask for volunteers. I want people to test it out, come back, give me feedback. Because Pippa's out in Australia, I'm in the United Kingdom, completely different time zones. So she wasn't able to make it live, but a few days later, listen to the MP3 recording. And this one is also on the in the bundle. And it took me a couple of years. I only noticed last year when I was running the Raising Your Money Vibration video webinar series. I was using this slide just to answer the question about, does it travel? What if you can't make it live? And I was reading it to the group, and suddenly I realized that everything that Pippa was describing is the order and sequence in which I did the Hoonah process. Now, she wouldn't have known that. It was a teleseminar, so she, you know, people dialed in, so they couldn't even see me. And she was listening to an MP3 recording. So she was saying something, you know, she starts off saying, initially, my third eye, throat, heart center, and solar plexus all felt compressed and uncomfortable, to say the least. That is when I use the symbol thunder comes down and strikes the earth and makes the earth shake. And for my clients who are quite sensitive to energy, they often feel that as a pushback. Then she said, after the first round of Hoonah, I sensed the image of a triangle of fire. What I did is a triangle. And just to give you in context, this is what it sounds like. Somebody who knows Hoonah would have no idea what combination of symbols I've just done, and that's all Pippa would have been hearing. She then said, after the first round, I sensed an image of triangle of fire. She's absolutely correct. I used there's a triangle, a red triangle, and I used it in that instance to then you break things up, and then I used it to kind of burn them away, if that makes sense. And that's what was in her description. She then says, during and after the second round, I felt pain being drawn out of my body by my heart center. So at that point, I used a symbol to open the heart. And then I was doing something that if you'd done a soul plan read it, where you wouldn't know what I was doing, you were just here. But there's a thing where you're using what you call sword fingers. I guess if you know Qigong, you might also be familiar with something similar, where opening the heart center and then drawing the stuck energy out. Again, she would have had no idea about that, because all you can hear is I'm not saying what's going on. She then says, I slowly began to feel lighter and my heart center opened up more than previously. And I felt like I was glowing from the inside out. And as I'm typing the phrase, as if the light of my soul is now able to shine through my heart center. What she wouldn't have known is at that point, I put a symbol in there once you clear out all the old stuff. And it's almost like the symbol for this one, when you see it, the sun is radiating. And it's like it's radiating from the inside out. That's the intention that I hold when I'm placing that symbol. And then she said the third round gave me a sense of my heart center expanding into the universe. And I have a sense of being more open, connected. And at that point, I was doing stuff to open up the chakras, so you get kind of a better universal connection. So in answer to the question, well, it's a recording. She was listening to a recording, and that is what happened, and that's the impact of that. Annika says, I'm ready. Cool. I'll be there in a moment. So yeah, so if you're interested in the Hoonah, go to my website tomorrow, and let me put those details up so you can see that. Hold on a minute. One sec. There we go. Alrighty. Website transformationstm.com, and it's TRANCE, F for Freddy, FORMATIONS, TM as in trademark, so transformationstm.com. My email, Marilyn, MARILYN @transformationstm.com. Easiest ways to get hold of me. I wouldn't recommend ringing because the phone's either off or I'm on it when I'm doing online sessions. And on social media, if you're watching this on YouTube, it's / Marilyn Devonish for pretty much everything. And Devonish is DEV for Victor, ONISH. Except for Instagram, where it's the NeuroSuccess Coach. So that is how you get hold of me if you want any further information. That's the website to go to find out what's coming up as well, because I use that what's new for that. But I will add a link to the new Hoonah podcast series if you wanted to check that out. Actually, I saw that one pop up on screen, and that was with an audience of 550 people where I was doing the Hoonah. And you've got Greg Braden, Dr. Joe Dispenza, and Dr. Bruce Lipton there on stage. And I just did pretty much 5 minutes of Hoonah. No one even knew who I was or what the heck I was doing. All they know is there's this woman on stage waving her hands back going, that was it. And for the next 4 days, people were stopping me everywhere I went. Oh my God, when you do the Hoonah, this happened, and it was completely different stuff. Back pain, shoulder pain, confusion, depression, hot flushes, you name it. You can't even begin to put into words the impact it was having, and everybody was getting a different experience of it, even though it was the same 5-minute segment. So it does, what I would say, pack a neurological punch, to say the least. Now also, I've just seen, with the messages popping up, I've just seen someone asking about, I think I've actually got it in here as well. I have. So somebody was asking about the gift vouchers. Can they put that towards a Hoonah session? Yes, you can. And at the moment, what I've done while we're in kind of coronavirus lockdown, etc., is I've reinstated an offer that I did for my e-newsletter list in December, in the run up to Christmas. So you can purchase a gift voucher. They are worth £150, which is the equivalent of a 1-hour session. However, you can purchase it at £60 off. So they're currently £90 if you're watching this in real time. And you can put that towards one-to-one sessions, so coaching, therapy. You can put it towards my online workshops. You can put them towards the photo reading workshops, either in person or the online version while we're still in lockdown. And somebody was asking about the expiration date. The longest I've had somebody come back after booking a session in advance was 10 years, and I still honored the session. I did it. My suggestion is don't leave it that long. I'd say 2 or 3 years, we're good. And yeah, if you came back in 10 years time, I would still do the session. But, so there isn't a set expiration date on them either, in terms of what you were just asking there. So I'm pretty sure that's already on the website. No, it is on the website, because I've got some offers on the coaching and the photo reading in-person workshop that I run later on this year in the autumn, plus the online version. plus the Hoonah and Access Consciousness session. So there is a link for that already on the website. Click the What's New button and you can find the information there. Cool, fabuloso. Right, well, I am actually do you know what, we've already had the neglect and destruction of Mother Earth, courtesy of Banksy. So I'm gonna, now when I say cards leap out, that's what I mean. So I said I'm just gonna pick one, and this one's like pick me. It's like Shrek, really. So let's get the ball. Oh my god, okay. We still, I was just talking about destruction of Mother Earth. Look at the picture of that one. It's an overview of our gorgeous planet. So this one, Archangel Jeremiah, or New Beginnings, card number 20. So in the major, you got the major arcana, 0, and this is pretty much, it starts at 0 with the what they call the full card. This is pretty much near the end of the journey. So it means that something has come full cycle. You're coming to a point where something is ending, something else is beginning. And I would say we've been in lockdown for 47 days. And of course, it's going to be slightly different depending on when people started. And I've seen people talking about going back to normal, and I really think the conversation is about the new normal and a fresh start in many ways, because a lot of the old structures have now been torn away, taken down. So, this New Beginnings card is quite a nice one. So it says starting a new life, finding your purpose, a forgiving and compassionate review of the past. Now, if that isn't cool for the current time, I don't know what is. So this whole thing about many people are having to reevaluate, and they're having to kind of start something new, whether they like it or not. Now, a lot of people saw that in the form of working from home and the self-isolation and the lockdown. That's been a really new experience for many people. For myself, I've been a flexible working implementation consultant since 2003. So if you're watching this in real time, that's 17 years. And that means working with and going into organizations to help them design and deliver flexible working, remote working, smart working strategies, policies, trainings, also doing the coaching around the psychology of that. Because for me, the whole thing is an art and a science. It's not just as easy as, well, I'm at home now, let's do some work. There's a lot more to it than that. And I think people are starting to realize that. But for many people, it was a new way of life and a completely different way of being. This is one reason why I'm wearing my gym kit. I've just finished my online ballet class, because several weeks ago I got an email from my ballet teacher saying, really sorry, of course, in light of what's happening, this was before the official lockdown, she said, we're going to cancel the classes. So I immediately emailed back and said, have you thought about running the classes online? The following week, and they might have been thinking along those lines themselves anyway, the following week I get a schedule with 8 classes: tap, jazz, ballet, modern, contemporary, stretch class, you name it, it's all on there. And so I've just finished my ballet class. On Sunday I did a stretch class. That's a whole new ball game, something they've never done before. So a lot of people are finding themselves that they are, and I've seen also a lot of people like rising up like a phoenix, where they're doing something they've never done before. A lot of people are running lives and they've never done lives before. They're doing online courses, they're creating online programs. I've been doing coaching and therapy and online workshops since 2005. So again, that's not like a new conversation for me, but it is for a lot of people who are just suddenly discovering this whole new world. So finding your purpose, I know it's also caused many people, in terms of the lockdown, self-isolation, having more time for and with yourself. For many people, I know a lot of people are furloughed, for example, so they actually can't work. Although, just as a side note, you can provide training to your staff. So if you would like some online training and workshops, briefing sessions, let me know. Happy to do that. And I don't use Zoom. I use a much more secure platform, so we're good. So the whole thing about finding purpose, many people I've seen are re-evaluating, what am I doing? What's going on? And actually, when a lockdown is over, where do I see myself? Do I want to just go back to business as usual? Or do I actually want to do something else? And I've seen a lot of people kind of questioning the meaning of life almost. And from a soul plan perspective, it's that whole thing, you get a sense of, is this what I'm here to do? Or is there something different? So that's been an interesting conversation. I know a lot of people have been in that vibe. A forgiving and compassionate review of the past. Yeah. And one of the things I said, I probably talked a little bit about it. I don't know if it was in the final interview, but I did a couple of interviews with BBC Radio 5 Live, for example, talking about remote working and flexible working strategies. And when we were offline, she was saying, well, you know, what do you think is coming next? And I was talking about the new normal, the fact that I think there's going to be a seismic shift in the way that we work, the way that the world operates. And that also means there's a letting go of the past. And for many, then they're not realizing there's a grieving cycle that goes with that. So I've seen a lot of people, they're not even understanding what they're feeling, how they're feeling, or why they're feeling it. And this bit here, the whole thing about the reviewing of the past, in some respects, they're going to be aspects that you let go of. So and then it's kind of like, right, we've got some choices to make. So I'm going to hold this card up again and look at it again. You can see they've got several pathways: left, right, straight ahead, up and over, back and round. It's all to play for. So now we're in that position where it's like, okay, we're going to do this. We have to start fresh. We have to start new, because everything, for those of you who are watching this for a few years, tell me, like, what's lockdown? And what's self-isolation? Everything is closed apart from essential services. So supermarkets are open. I believe Boots the chemist here where I live is open. They've just put their opening hours up, but pretty much bars, restaurants, pubs, clubs, non-urgent, surplus shoe shops, clothes shops, everything is closed down. And you really should only be going out if you're an essential worker or for work, or your kind of 1 hour a day exercise. So to say that it's going to feel like, I mean, I can now hear the song "Who Let the Dogs Out." It's like woohoo when we all, I don't know, you know, I'm also interested to know, as a side note, what's the first thing you're going to do when you're out of lockdown? Where are you going to go? Who are you going to see? That's going to be really interesting. But we have all been forced into charting a new course and being in that place and that space of a new beginning. And even if you are going back to your traditional role, your regular job, the same industry, there's still going to be a new normal, because the dynamic of everything has changed. So this card, you know, I think it's a perfect one to leap itself out of the deck, just to get the ball rolling for, you know, the month ahead. There's plenty of new beginnings to come. And I think that piece in terms of the actions you might want to be thinking about and taking, the forgiving, the compassion, because I know we nosedived in some respects into the opposite of that. In terms of the way people were reacting and interacting with each other. So doing that for self, doing that for others, and also not just kind of mourning what was. So doing that, but also being in a position to embrace what's coming next. Because if too much time is spent in the past, well, what, oh, if only, it's like, you know what, it is what it is now. It's hard, it's harsh. And where do we go from here? Where are we charting our course? So I would say, just as a little taster and a starter for 10 in terms of how we run Tarot Tuesday, the way that it rolls. So I'm not, you know, but I'm not doing general readings. I'm doing individual readings for everyone who wants a reading. Hey, Alexa, I said I'm missing the non-essential shops. I'm wishing for new normality. Yeah, you know, we know that this too shall pass. I've got some thoughts and ideas on what the new normal may kind of look and feel like, just based on the, you know, the stuff that I've been doing for the last 17 years in terms of transitioning into that and the aspects of that, and preparing people for new ways of working and different ways of working. But yeah, hey Jake, how are you? Jake says greetings to you too. So Tarot Tuesday, that's a little bit of a taste of how we roll, but the difference is I'm doing individual readings rather than, and I, you know, I normally end off with a card, for the general card for the month as well, to pick up the flavor and pick up the vibe. What will be bonkers is if this card comes up again, because we've had it, and those of you in the membership group will know, there'll be times where I'm doing 15, 20 readings, the same card comes up 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 times, and I shuffle the deck every single time. And so there's always some sort of vibe and some sort of theme that's floating around. So I really look forward to seeing what the theme is for this month as we go into Tarot Tuesday. So new beginnings. And if we remember the Banksy card, I've put it back now. Geez, am I going to be able to find it? Oh, there's a lot. We might have to give it up, Marilyn, give it up. But the Banksy card about the neglect, when you put those two things together, that is pretty much the story because one of the things, the way I described it, and I was being slightly tongue-in-cheek, but I said, you know what, when this first kicked off, I said on some level, it feels like Mother Nature is like, all right, you lot haven't been listening. You've all been a little bit naughty. Get back to your room and stay there until I've reset. And I said that's almost what it feels like. We've been put on the naughty step while Mother Nature then kind of gets her act together and cleans everything up. And that's basically what we've been seeing happening as well. So yeah. Oh, these just being do you know what I might do for those of you in the membership group, if you're up for it? Be interesting, because you know, there are times where I might do the odd combo. So maybe for the I can't do a combo for everyone. We'd be there all night, trust me. So maybe those of you who are lifetime members, if you're up for it, and I'll ask you when we get into the group, but I know some of you are here now, what I may do is pick a card from the tarot deck. Ooh, sorry, I'm just like, oh, that's, oh God, seriously, I'm telling you, some of these cards are shocking. Yeah, it would have to be a PG rated video for me to show them, but shocking in a way that, you know, it kind of gets the message home and it gets the message across. So yeah, what I'm maybe thinking is for some of you, I might do the reading and then we might pull a Banksy card as well and just see what perspective that sort of gives us. Okay, yeah, I might do that actually. I might do that. But anyway, right. And so weirdly, I've just gone through the whole deck and the card I was looking for wasn't there. So I look at the bag and I touched the bag. It was in the bag. So it's like, I could have just looked in the bag. Didn't think of that, but I, you know, didn't expect it to be there. But so these are the two cards then that I've pulled for this month as a little bit of a starter. New beginnings and thinking about how we interact with Mother Earth, the consumerism, the destruction, the ecology, etc., etc. So there we have it for May 2020. This was the first card in terms of thinking about what's been going on. It's like, all right, you go to your room and you think about what you've said and you think about what you've done and you think about how you've behaved, and now you've had a little bit of thinking time. Now we're starting to transition into really where the rubber hits the road in thinking about those new beginnings. Cool. And the message that just popped, not there, but on my popped up in the email, you can book one-to-one readings. Absolutely. There is an offer on those at the moment as well with the coronavirus that I'm doing this month. So that'll be on the website. But yes, if you, I think it's www.transformationstm.com. I think it's /tarot readings. Give that a go. Or it's under coaching services. But yes, so you can book one-to-one readings. I do those via telephone, Skype, and I've got an online meeting room as well. So yes, you can do 30 minutes, 60 minutes, or 90-minute readings. So yes, that is available, absolutely. And you can do one-to-one private Hoonah and access consciousness sessions as well as the regular breakthrough coaching. Cool. Rightio. Thank you for watching. If you know anyone who may benefit from these services, please feel free to share this video. That would be amazing. And if you'd like to join us in the membership group, it is www.marilynsmembershipgroup.eventbrite.com. And you can either join as just a one-off and do a taster for a month. You can join for the year, or you can join as a lifetime member, which means you pay once and then you're a member forever and you get included in everything that we're doing. So, and I know a lot of people have kind of really liked that option. They just kind of get it sorted and done and out of the way. And you'll find the information about that on the Eventbrite page. Annika says, I'm always up for a play. Jake, I know, Jake, that's why I looked in my diary. I was like, oh, it's the full moon as well, because I'm going to do it tomorrow. And I was like, oh, I kind of think I'm liking the full moon energy. So Jake says, full moon blessings. Thank you. Blessings to you too. As above, as above, as below, as we do this divine guardians do now. Seriously, I had that conversation yesterday with a client, and I was explaining, because we were doing a soul plan core issue therapy session. And it's a complement to the soul plan reading. And I was so I'm describing about the process that we were going to do in terms of clearing energy on kind of all levels. And she said, it sounds a bit like as above, so below. I went, that is totally what it is. So you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Hey, Dr. Michelle McDowell, how are you? Thank you for joining me. We had great fun. We did a podcast interview a couple of weeks ago. Now, Dr. Michelle is a child psychologist, And we were actually talking about mental health, coronavirus, COVID-19, etc., because I don't think there have been enough conversations about mental health. So that was with a guy called Mike Indian, who's a senior political analyst. And we were talking about the kind of government response to COVID-19. We're talking about mental health. It's his G&T podcast. If you haven't listened to that, go and have a listen. Also, as we talk about new beginnings and new ways of working, my article for the Guardian newspaper came out a couple of days ago, and it was about remote interviewing. So for the recruitment industry, for corporations, how do you now navigate in this world? And I've shared tips and best practice for that. And also, if you are a candidate looking for work, you're going to be doing remote interviews online, probably some tips in there you're going to find interesting too. So that's in the Guardian newspaper. It is online, so you can go back and read that as well, because I think the mental health piece and that in terms of the new ways of working are kind of both really, really key and pivotal as we transition into this kind of place and space of new beginnings. Annika says, please could you pick a card for my sister? It's her birthday today. All right, Alexa, as it's you. Right, so let's go. We could pick a Banksy card, but they're a little bit harsh. All right, so Alexa, this is for your sister. Annika's going to be like, she's going to be, I'm checking her name is Retha, brackets Betty. Annika, I'm later now because Alexa made me do it. Hang on, what I'm going to do first, I'm going to get some water. Cool. Alrighty, let's see. It's her birthday. Happy birthday, Retha, stroke Betty. Many, many happy returns. Hi, Alex. Did you have a Zoom party by any chance? It was my sister's 40th birthday a couple of weeks ago. So all of my sisters and various husbands, fiancés, and a cousin from the United States, we had the most fabulous Zoom party. It was just such good fun. It was really, really brilliant. Because when my sister said, "I'm really missing not being able to go out for my birthday," I says, "Well, do you want me to see if everyone's free? Should we do it? We have a Zoom party." And I thought, well, I just thought we'd catch up and just maybe talk for 20 minutes, half an hour. 3 hours later, we were, find ourselves, we're choosing our favorite soca music and having a dance off. So each one of us chose our favorite track, and it was just such good fun. Oh, it's her sister's birthday. Oh, okay, cool. Right. Oh, sorry, Annika. Right. Okay, cool. Doing that. Right. Oh, you're doing that in 30 minutes. Brilliant. Fabulous. Amazing. Right. So, birthday girl. Actually, do you know what? I like whatever that one is there. Queen. Oh, we like a bit of Michael action, of course. So let me show it to you first, just so you get a visual while here we go. So Queen of Michael, brilliant, self-reliant, insightful, humorous are some of the traits and characteristics that come with this card. It says, you know exactly what to do, exclamation mark, the benefit of experience, a time for your career rather than relationships. Now, one of the things that is wonderful is either the giving, the receiving, or having been nurturing. So look at those wonderful roses. And I had a conversation weirdly about roses today because we were out doing the clapping for the NHS, let me put it that way, sounds better. And my neighbour says, Marilyn, I know you don't pay attention to such things, but aren't the roses beautiful? And I says, Megan, I was walking back from town today, and from a distance, I looked at the roses and went, oh my God, they are so beautiful. And one of the images I had to mind, because as they start to fall, the petals, I then, throughout the summer, in terms of the approach, I'm actually walking on rose petals. And that always feels like quite a nice regal thing to do. Remember that scene, if you've seen the movie with Eddie Murphy Coming to America, where he's got somebody that just walks ahead of him, sprinkling rose petals? I giggle to myself when I have that. So this is almost like the fullness of the bloom, because you don't get those roses without having put some work in beforehand, and they need some nurturing. So it's almost as though she's got to a stage, and I always think of this also as the sitting pretty card, where she's sitting kind of surveying what's been created thus far, and also doing that sense of almost like self-reflection and reevaluation. And it's not a kind of, oh my God, what shall I do next? It's not that kind of frenetic energy. This is almost more about choices and making decisions. Where do I want to go next? What do I want to do? What's the direction I want to head in? How do I want to spend my time? Who do I want to spend my time with? But not doing it from a place of rushing. There's not a knee-jerk reaction. This is a real sort of deeper introspection. And the whole thing is then kind of saying, okay, where it talks about the benefit of experience, where you're almost sitting down and going, okay, what have I done? What have I achieved? Also, what have I been through? What have I overcome? What have I worked through? And then how can you use those experiences for the next phase, the kind of moving forwards? And that whole thing about I can now hear the Spice Girls. So tell me what you want, what you really, really want. It really is. It's almost like, you know, when you say to someone, what do you want? It sounds like a really, you know, simple question, but actually, if you really consider and think about that statement, the question is actually really quite deep. So this might be a time where she's really sitting and really going, okay, in terms of the next phase, and how, you know, I say phase because people think of it, they might be thinking a year ahead, decade ahead, rest of their life. It's like however she thinks of the phases, that deeper conversation about what do I okay, Spice Girls, what do I really, really want? So that's what I would say about that one. Alex said, I bought cake for her too. She's in SA. Brilliant. Fantastic. Yeah, my sister had a cake as well. And I happened to have a Marks and Spencer's cake. So I was eating cake at the same time on her behalf. Brilliant. We'll have a fabulous time. Right. I'm totally heading over to the membership group now. So yeah, we'll be there. Membership group, Moon, Tarot. Let's do this thing. Fabulous. And if any of you want to join me, I will see you in the membership group next month. And even if you just join for a month, you get the whole range of things. You get to do Motivation Monday, Tarot Tuesday, which is a Facebook Live, Wisdom Wednesday, which is a curated SAPs, Think Tank Thursday is a kind of more management consultancy coaching session where you can ask anything you want. I'll answer those questions on Facebook Live. We've got Focus Friday, which is something to do a reevaluation of what's just gone and looking ahead. Sharing Saturday, which is a combination of things, free teleseminars, webinars. Generally in the summer, we have our free one-day workshop. It's free for lifetime members, a nominal fee for annual and monthly members. That happens at the Jury's Inn Hotel in Watford, which is currently closed. But you know, we can probably just do it later in the year because it's really nice for people to get together. And then we've got Soul Food Sunday, which is something to kind of touch and stimulate the soul. So if you're joining for a month, you always get to experience all of those, and then you decide if you want to renew and join us or not. Cool, fab, right. I'm heading over there now, so I will see you in the membership group for Tarot Tuesday. And for those of you who have done the Hoonah subscription thing, get your thinking caps on. What do you need most? What will be most beneficial? And I'll do a bespoke recording. Might even do it as a video webinar, so you can join me live and take part as well. Alexa says, beautiful card, glad you like it, and thank you ×3. You're amazing. Lots of love, Miss Magic. Lots of love to you too, Alexa. Cool. I will see you over in the membership group.